My name is Stephen Kasulia and I am 23 years. I'll be 24 in November. I first discovered or realized that I had sickle cell when I was about 7 years. Why or how I remember this is that was the first time I got or I received rectal diclofenac for my pain. It was a strange experience. Growing up as I didn't really fit in, because most of the time as I used to fall sick a lot when I was a child, more than I do now. So I would miss bouts of school, weeks on end. I would be home, and you don't get the chance to really create friendships as you would have, or I also couldn't do certain physical activities. I was limited to them, which I later realized I could actually do. But at the time, due to concerns and things like that, for example, I couldn't swim, or I couldn't play sports, or I couldn't do this or that. I remember in my high school, I had a run-in with someone who came at me with the fact that I had the disease, etc., etc. It was a big incident, but we settled that. So yeah, there's always, as society, we tend to fear and discriminate minority groups or groups of things we basically don't understand. My worst episodes of a crisis last year, I had a very bad crisis in my hips and also my chest. The hips later turned out to be AVN, which was progressing. Although I had surgery, which I'm still recovering from this year. I used to get crises often when I was still in primary and secondary. However, I started hydroxyurea in my S5, that was 2014. The frequency with which I got the crisis reduced. However, the intensity surprisingly increased. So I would get one or two or three crises a year, or even two, but they would be really bad. My triggers are mainly anxiety, stress, then comes a cold. My mental state dictates a lot, and that's one thing I've come to notice. We don't pay a lot of attention to our mental health as people with sickle cell disease, which we need more. We need more support, more therapy, more discussions. Friends and family also play a very important role, because these are essentially the people that are with you through the crisis. So without a healthy support system, that can actually break you, and it's not easy to navigate without someone you can lean back on. Without a crisis, I would go through the day perfectly. So yeah, normally the only thing is that I drink more than normal. I carry water in my car. I would have a dispenser in my room on campus. So I make it a habit to drink at least 5 liters of water every day. I carry a box of water in the boot of my car, so whenever I need to drink, or when I go somewhere and the water is overpriced or something like that, I just get out a bottle of water, and yeah, that's it. We don't realize it, but sometimes if you are constantly exposed to pain, sometimes that takes a mental toll and you start to despair, and that leads to frustration, and then depression, and it's a vicious cycle. When I'm in pain, I use I use water bottles or a hot cloth. That has actually helped a lot to try and increase the circulation. Not to brag, but I've been a relatively high achiever most of my life. From primary school with best academic achiever, etc. And the thing is that I would attend like half of the term or 3/4 of the term. So it was then that I realized that, oh, maybe I'm a bit clever. So I will never forget this. I had to commute for my O levels. I fell very sick towards, most probably because of the stress and also because of the weather. Bodo was very cold. There's a practical, the chemistry practical I literally did with a cannula sticking out of my arm. I had to catch up from home, although still, like, I got back on my feet in February, March. That's when I started. I had to learn how to walk because the crisis was in my back. From breathing to walking, it was like full rehabilitation. I had to do intense. My parents wanted me to repeat a year, but I could not repeat that year, so I didn't do well at A level. I know I could have done better. I still beat myself a bit about it, but whatever. Somehow managed to get into Makerere on the special needs program. Did biomedical sciences. Again, the last year of this was last year, so it's like the last year of every major transition. But somehow I managed to graduate in January this year. So I think that counts as an accomplishment. People grow up telling you, oh, you want, how will you pass this age or something? I'm still figuring it out. I don't have it all figured out. Taking one day at a time. Yeah, I mean, some people don't get the chance.